As soon as I heard his voice, I knew something was wrong. It was the kind of tone I've only heard when someone calls to tell you someone's died. And he just said, I need you to come to Atlanta as soon as you can. Can you get on the next plane? He said, we need to meet away from campus. We decided on this hotel near the airport. So I met him there and I started talking to him, and he wasn't himself. He had a dazed look in his eyes, and he told me that, he'd been dealing drugs, and his best friend and he had been robbed, and they were told to lie down on the floor and not to move. And then his friend moved us a little bit, and they shot and killed him.
He was like laid on the ground, like right in front of me, on the room or whatever. And I just told him to call 911. This was just crazy.
Adom knew, that the killing and the robbery happened, in the place where he was dealing drugs. So he understood that going to the police and talking about the killing was going to have consequences for himself. And indeed, they did.
When I got to the county jail, that was pretty rough because in Atlanta, like I said, it was already clicked. So it was when I got there, it was some, regular jail, where you from, da 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 da. And I'm from Pittsburgh. They're where? So, regular try to take your commissary or whatever. So I got into a couple fights, and then somebody tried to stab me at Chow. And because that, and the CO saw that, so then they put me in the hole. So I was in the hole for a month. It was 23 hours isolation. So for 23 hours out the day, you were just sitting in a 8x6 cell by yourself. That was probably the worst part of prison for me.
I don't even remember a discussion that Adom was going to come stay with us. My wife, Jamila, was clear that, Atlanta and staying there was not an option. And so we were the clear place to go.
When I was 20 or 21, whenever that happened, if somebody would have said 14 years from now, you'll be living in New York and taking care of your kid and, being a regular working class guy, I would have been like, no way, there's not me. I'm stuck in this life now forever.
The reality is, many of us make mistakes when we're 20, and depending upon what you look like, how much money you have, those mistakes can hold you back for a lifetime. Adom succeeded in spite of the system, not because of it. What I saw through his eyes was a system that did not address the trauma of him having witnessed the murder of his best friend, did not address the trauma that it imposed on him of putting him in solitary confinement, and didn't care two whits about employment or housing when he was released. There are hundreds of thousands of Adoms incarcerated now, mostly Black and brown, people who have been warehoused, forgotten about by much of society, and then when released, the system does nothing to help them with reentry. And we have to change that. We have to have a system that is asking on the front end, does this case have anything to do with public safety? So much of what we send people to jail for has nothing to do with public safety. And we need a system that when people come home, stands up for them and helps with employment opportunities and housing opportunities. It should not matter what zip code you're from, whether you have a family that's going to step into the breach for you. We need a system that's going to support everyone when they come home. That's the right thing to do. It's also going to strengthen our neighborhoods and our communities and make us safer. That's what I will do as your Manhattan District Attorney.